It is a sobering truth that certain individuals in our circles find satisfaction in generating distress and disorder. Consider the possibility that while you are opening your heart and placing your confidence in someone, they are simultaneously acting as the primary architect of your unhappiness. Today, we investigate a subject that is as compelling as it is alarming, identifying the indicators that you are interacting with a malevolent person. Whether this individual is a professional associate, a companion, or a close relative, these people are often experts at trickery, masking their dark intentions behind a veneer of magnetism and appeal. Our goal today is not merely to analyze the shadows of human conduct out of morbid interest. Rather, comprehending these warnings can be a pivotal moment for your safety. The Stoic philosophers emphasize the strength of objective perception and the necessity of conducting oneself with logic and integrity. By pinpointing and acknowledging these destructive qualities, we can safeguard our mental tranquility and foster more authentic bonds, remaining committed to the Stoic ideals of sagacity and emotional discipline. Stay engaged as we reveal 5 specific markers of a wicked personality. By the conclusion of this discussion, you will be better prepared to identify these patterns and gain actionable methods for protecting your psychological health. If you value the insights we provide, a small way to support us is by clicking the subscribe button. Ensure you watch the entire duration, as you will not want to overlook our vital bonus segment. There, I will outline a powerful technique for establishing immovable boundaries with such people. Let us begin this process of self-discovery and mental toughness together. When discussing those who appear incredibly pleasant and alluring initially, it is vital to recall that looks are frequently deceptive. Such people have a talent for brightening a room and making every person present feel significant and appreciated. They possess the perfect words to make you believe you have found a lifelong ally. At a distance, they seem flawless, clever, charismatic, and deeply interested in your experiences. It is quite easy to be captivated by their aura, assuming you have met a truly rare soul. Nevertheless, Stoicism teaches us to look past the external layer and seek reality through logical analysis and careful monitoring. Eventually, you might begin to see small fractures in their polished image. Perhaps they constantly demand the spotlight, minimizing others in social gatherings. They might interrupt your thoughts or use subtle insults to diminish you in public. These are not merely personality flaws or the traits of a social butterfly. They are significant warnings. A Stoic would suggest viewing these actions with a neutral mind, unaffected by the initial thrill of their charm. Imagine a social gathering where this person is the center of attention, telling tales and holding everyone spellbound. Initially, it feels wonderful to be near them, but as time passes, you see they are hijacking every interaction and making everything about their own life. When you attempt to contribute a personal story, they immediately pivot the conversation back to themselves. This is where the concept of apatheia, or maintaining a state of being unbothered by external vanity, becomes useful. By keeping your emotions stable, you can see past the performance and identify the underlying self-absorption. It is also essential to watch how they behave when events do not align with their desires. A person who possesses genuine empathy and warmth will navigate setbacks and disagreements with poise and patience. However, someone merely wearing a mask to win your favor may rapidly turn hostile or defensive. They might lash out or attempt to twist the situation to regain dominance. In the view of Stoic philosophy, these outbursts are clear signs of a lack of internal virtue. Marcus Aurelius cautions us to be careful of those who show signs of rage and manipulation, as these are not the qualities of a logical and honorable human being. The strategy here is to move slowly and trust your gut feelings. The Stoics believed in the efficacy of observation and the danger of rushing to a conclusion based on a first meeting. Epictetus taught that we must meticulously check the character of those we permit into our personal lives. Therefore, if someone appears too perfect to be real, grant yourself the time to watch their conduct over a long period. Note how, They treat people when there is no audience to impress. True nature is exposed in how one acts when they have nothing to gain. Remember that not everyone with a magnetic personality has a good heart. Some use their charisma as a weapon for control. By staying centered and aware, you can avoid being deceived by a shallow front. Remain loyal to the stoic goals of wisdom and judgment, and you will be better prepared to manage these complicated social dynamics. Another vital indicator to observe is a complete absence of empathy. Empathy is the capacity to internalize and share the experiences of others, allowing us to connect deeply, offer aid when required, and build meaningful lives. Yet, there are people who seem to lack this fundamental human element entirely. They are indifferent to how their conduct or speech impacts those around them, which can be catastrophic for their victims. The Stoics prioritized compassion and mutual understanding as core virtues. Marcus Aurelius frequently wrote about the interconnected nature of the human race and the obligation to care for the welfare of others as an extension of our own. Thus, encountering someone who shows a blatant neglect for the feelings of others is a major alarm. Imagine you are disclosing a personal struggle to a friend, seeking solace. Instead of offering kindness, they dismiss your pain or even ridicule your openness. This lack of connection can leave you feeling isolated. It is not just about their absence during your low points. It is also about their inability to feel joy for your triumphs. A person devoid of empathy will not applaud your wins. They might even attempt to ruin them or claim the glory for themselves. This behavior is not restricted to friendships. Think of a manager who pushes staff to the point of exhaustion with no regard for their health. They might demand excessive labor without fair pay, ignore personal needs, or use public shaming as a tool. This creates a poisonous atmosphere where people feel discarded and overwhelmed. Stoicism advises us to protect our internal harmony and character in these settings, recognizing that the coldness of others is a statement about them, not us. Furthermore, a lack of empathy can spiral into more malicious acts. Individuals who cannot feel for others might engage in cruelty without a hint of shame or regret. They might deceive or harm others without considering the suffering they inflict. Seneca highlighted the necessity of benevolence and equity, teaching that our deeds should mirror our internal goodness. When someone lacks empathy, they are severed from these values. This deficit is also visible in small daily habits. You might see someone who constantly cuts people off to talk about themselves or fails to help when someone is struggling nearby. These may seem like small irritations, but they form a pattern revealing a deeper character flaw. The Stoics remind us to be perceptive, understanding that these minor signs point to a person's true soul. If you are dealing with someone who never shows empathy, it is vital to create boundaries to protect your mental health. You have every right to remove yourself from those who sap your vitality. Another major red flag is manipulative behavior. Manipulation involves using dishonesty or clever schemes to dictate the actions of others for personal gain. It is a quiet, often predatory habit that can be deeply harmful. Manipulators are experts at warping situations, making you doubt your own perception and forcing you to comply with their wishes. This leaves you feeling lost, weak, and uncertain of your own mind. Looking at manipulation through a Stoic lens, we see that the Stoics valued transparency and the ability to see things as they are. They taught that our views should be rooted in facts and that we should remain firm in our morals regardless of outside pressure. When someone manipulates you, they are trying to fog your vision and ruin your reality, making it hard to follow Stoic ideals. A frequent method is gaslighting, where the perpetrator tries to make you question your memory or sanity. They might deny reality or twist your words to make you feel responsible for their mistakes. For instance, if you bring up a hurtful comment they made, they might flip the script, claiming you are being too sensitive or that you imagined it. This destroys your self-assurance and makes you rely on their version of the truth. Manipulators are also skilled at playing the martyr. They might use guilt to force you into things you dislike, by making you feel responsible for their state of mind. You might have a friend who constantly offloads their problems onto you, expecting instant help, yet vanishes when you need them. They use phrases like, "If you truly cared, you would do this," making you feel forced to obey. Epictetus emphasized knowing what is within our power and what is not. We cannot control the feelings of others, only our own reactions. Consider how a manipulator uses flattery to get their way. Initially, this feels positive as they shower you with praise, but eventually you see their kindness has conditions. They only compliment you when they want a favor. This creates a feeling of debt, making you think you must meet their standards to keep their favor. The Stoics remind us that true value comes from within, not from the shallow praise of others. Manipulation can also involve isolation. A controlling person might try to sever your ties with family and friends to make you more dependent on them. They might claim your loved ones do not understand you or are working against you. This makes it easier to manage you because you have no other support system. The Stoics believed in the power of community and healthy relationships, seeing isolation as a threat to one's well-being. Financial control is another tool used by malicious people. They might take your money and never return it or dominate your budget to stop you from being independent. For example, a partner might demand to handle all the funds, forcing you to ask for every penny. This takes away your freedom and makes it hard to leave. The Stoics encouraged self-reliance to ensure we are not owned by others. Recognizing these patterns is hard when you care for the person, but you must be observant. If you suspect control, look at things objectively. Are they putting themselves first? Do they make you feel small? You must set firm limits and speak clearly about what you will not accept. You have the right to your own life. One of the most obvious signs of a malevolent person is the desire to control. This is not about simple preferences. It is about a person who wants to dominate your entire existence. They often hide this as caring, but it is truly about power. The Stoics, who valued freedom, would see this as the opposite of a good life. This can show up in a friend who always picks the activity and ignores your input, claiming they know what is best for you. In a relationship, this becomes dangerous when a partner tracks your location or demands to see your messages. This micromanagement creates a life of fear. Epictetus taught us to keep our inner freedom regardless of who tries to take it. Isolation is also a tool here. A controller might bash your family to make you stay away from them, leaving you with only the controller to turn to. Finally, they may use threats. They might threaten to hurt themselves or you if you do not follow their rules. Seneca taught us to face our fears and not let bullies win. It is vital to see that control is an attack on your soul. By staying strong, you can reclaim your right to live. Set boundaries, speak your truth, and find support. You cannot control them, but you can control your exit. Another certain sign of an evil person is the habit of lying pathologically. This is not the occasional small lie. It is a constant state of deceit. They invent stories and warp the truth for no clear reason other than to gain an edge. This destroys trust and creates a mess of lies. The Stoics valued honesty above all. They believed a good life required truth. When someone lies constantly, they are living against nature and logic. This might start small, with someone exaggerating their life to look better. But it soon grows into lying about big mistakes or stealing credit for work. In an office, a liar can ruin reputations and destroy the team's peace. The Stoics would tell us to stay true to our own honesty and not be moved by the lies of others. In a relationship, a constant liar makes you feel unstable and anxious. You start to doubt your own eyes. This is exactly what they want, as it gives them the upper hand. Seneca taught that true peace is found in our own minds, away from the lies of the world. Liars are hard to catch because they are so confident, mixing just enough truth in to make you believe them. Stay alert and trust your perception. To distinguish reality from fiction, the Stoic virtue of vigilance is indispensable. We must remain perceptive and analytical, refusing to accept appearances at face value. Instead, we should pursue the truth through deliberate reflection and objective proof. When you detect a falsehood, observe the other person's reaction closely. Do they become hostile or defensive? Do they attempt to reverse the situation and place the blame on you? Or do they provide a logical-sounding explanation that, while plausible, is merely another layer of trickery? An honest person will admit to their faults and work to rectify them, whereas a habitual deceiver will double down on their fabrications, spinning a more complex web of lies. Stoicism advises us to stay composed and logical when facing such behavior, recognizing it for exactly what it is without allowing it to disturb our peace. It is also vital to weigh the long-term consequences of chronic dishonesty. Over time, it destroys the very trust that serves as the bedrock of any connection. Once that bond is severed, rebuilding it is an immense challenge. You may find yourself trapped in a cycle of suspicion, always waiting for the next deception, which leads to a toxic environment of doubt and bitterness. The Stoics placed great importance on cultivating honest relationships rooted in mutual dignity and understanding. When dealing with a habitual liar, you must determine if the effort to repair the trust is worth the cost, or if it is healthier to remove yourself from their damaging influence. If you are entangled with such a person, setting strict boundaries to safeguard your mental and emotional health is essential. The Stoics would encourage us to stay true to our own ethics, refusing to be pulled into the chaos of another person's deceit. Be explicit about what you will and will not accept, and do not hesitate to walk away from a dynamic built on fabrications. Your internal tranquility and integrity far outweigh the need to maintain a link with someone who consistently misleads you. How then do you guard yourself against these behaviors while keeping your peace intact? Establishing boundaries is one of the most vital skills for navigating interactions with difficult or toxic individuals. Boundaries define the limits of what is acceptable, and they are necessary for protecting your mental, emotional, and physical health. The Stoics, who valued personal honor and inner quiet, would view boundary setting as a core practice for a virtuous life. First, realize that setting these limits is not an act of aggression or unkindness. It is an act of self-respect that ensures others treat you with the same regard. Stoicism teaches us to live in harmony with our true nature. By being clear about your limits, you are not only shielding yourself, but also encouraging healthier social dynamics. Clarity is paramount. You must be specific about the behaviors you reject and communicate this with firm confidence. For instance, if a friend frequently speaks down to you, you might say, "I value our bond, but I will not tolerate disrespectful language. If this persists, I will have to step back from our time together." This directness eliminates confusion. According to Stoic thought, this type of transparent communication maintains order and mutual honor. Consistency is another pillar of this practice. It is not enough to mention a boundary once. You must uphold it continually, even when it feels awkward or challenging. Epictetus emphasized the necessity of persistence and discipline. By standing by your limits, you teach others how to interact with you. If someone repeatedly ignores your boundaries, it is a clear sign of a lack of respect, and the relationship may need to be reevaluated. Remember that this is an ongoing process rather than a single event. As life changes, your boundaries may need recalibration. In a professional setting, this might involve protecting your time to avoid exhaustion. You might tell a colleague, "I am happy to contribute to this project, but I cannot take on extra duties beyond my current role." The Stoics would advise us to balance our obligations so that we do not harm our own well-being. The most difficult part of this journey is often the pushback. People accustomed to having their way, especially those with controlling traits, may react poorly to your new assertiveness. They might use anger, guilt, or attempts to shake your confidence. Stoicism teaches us to remain unshakable. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about keeping one's composure and not being moved by the negative emotions of those around us. When you meet resistance, stay resolute and remind yourself that these limits are vital for your health. Sometimes, this process requires painful choices, such as ending a toxic friendship. This is essential for preserving your character. Seneca often noted that the people we surround ourselves with significantly impact our own spirit. By distancing yourself from those who violate your boundaries, you make a powerful statement about your own worth. It is also beneficial to seek a support network. Discussing your experiences with trusted family, friends, or a counselor can provide the perspective and encouragement needed to stay firm. The Stoics valued the strength found in a community of like-minded individuals. Finally, self-care is a non-negotiable part of this practice. This means dedicating time to activities that bring you genuine joy and relaxation. Epictetus believed that caring for our own welfare is what allows us to be of service to others effectively. By making your health a priority, you reinforce the message that you are worthy of protection. Setting boundaries is a declaration of self-love and a commitment to a life of resilience. Your worth is not defined by others, but by your own character and actions. Protect your peace and integrity, for they are the foundation of a virtuous life. Thank you for being part of this journey. Stay focused, stay wise, and continue living with purpose. It is vital to recognize that the deception of a chronic liar is often accompanied by a total lack of accountability. When their fabrications are finally exposed, these individuals rarely offer a sincere apology or admit to their faults. Instead, they pivot to new stories or shift the blame onto someone else. The Stoics would identify this as a profound failure of character, as the inability to take responsibility for one's actions is a rejection of the path to wisdom. To protect yourself, you must cultivate a sharp sense of discernment. Pay attention to inconsistencies in their narratives and observe if their actions consistently fail to match their words. By adhering to the Stoic principle of staying grounded in reality, you can avoid becoming entangled in the chaotic web they spin. Remember that your primary duty is to protect your own integrity and mental clarity, regardless of how much someone else chooses to live in a world of fiction. As we conclude our look into these 5 warnings, it becomes clear that dealing with such individuals requires a combination of high awareness and unshakable self-control. The Stoics did not teach us to be victims of our circumstances, but to be masters of our internal state. When you encounter someone who exhibits these traits, your goal is not to fix them, but to manage your own exposure and maintain your peace of mind. By recognizing charm as a potential mask, noting a lack of empathy, identifying manipulation, resisting control, and seeing through pathological lies, you arm yourself with the tools of perception. This knowledge allows you to move through life with a sense of security, knowing that while you cannot control the existence of malevolence in the world, you can absolutely control how much power it has over your personal journey. Now, as promised, we arrive at our special bonus section regarding the establishment of firm boundaries. The Stoics believed that while we should be kind to all, we must be selective about who we allow into our inner sanctum. Setting a boundary is not an act of aggression. It is an act of self-respect. To do this effectively, you must first define your limits clearly to yourself. Decide what behaviors you will no longer tolerate and what your specific response will be if those limits are crossed. When communicating these boundaries, use the Stoic approach of being calm, brief, and firm. You do not need to provide long explanations or engage in an argument, as a manipulative person will only use your explanations as fuel for further debate. Simply state your boundary and the consequence, then follow through with the discipline of a person who values their own soul above the approval of a toxic individual. Developing this resilience is a lifelong process, but it starts with the realization that you are the sole guardian of your mental well-being. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By choosing to surround yourself with virtue and distancing yourself from chaos, you ensure that your inner world remains bright. This journey of self-awareness is your shield against the darkness that others may try to project onto you. Stay true to your reason, trust your observations, and never compromise your character for the sake of keeping the peace with someone who does not value peace themselves. Through these practices, you will not only survive the presence of difficult people but thrive in spite of them.